Hello everyone, my name is CMA. Welcome back to CMA modules. In this video lecture, we will be recording module 1.2, cost control and cost reduction contemporary techniques. So what is cost control? What is cost reduction? How we can control our cost? How we can control our cost? How we can reduce down our cost? Cost control, cost reduction, differentiation. There are many answers from this chapter. This chapter 1.2 is very important for theory. You can expect direct questions. Cost control, write a short note on cost control. What is cost control? How you can control your cost? I can frame case study type question from this, and I'll ask you as a CMA, please answer 2 marks, 6 marks, 4 marks. So this chapter, overall this chapter is very important. Cost control is defined as a regulation by executive actions of the cost of operating as undertaking, particularly where such action is guided by cost accounting. So we have cost control. Cost control is nothing but whatever happens, I will spend 1 lakh rupees only. Beyond 1 lakh, I don't want to spend. That is cost control. Thus, cost control is the guidance and regulation through an executive action, and this executive action is exercised in respect of all the expenses incurred in operating an undertaking. Cost control comprises all procedures and measures by which the cost of carrying out an activity is kept under check and aims at ensuring that costs do not go beyond the targeted level. Standard costing and budgetary control are the conventional technique adopted for cost control. So this is what? This is nothing but cost control. What is cost control? Cost control is the guidance and regulation. Cost control is nothing but guidance and regulation through an executive action. And this executive action is exercised in respect of all expenses incurred in an operating undertaking, in a premises, in an undertaking, in a factory. Whatever expenses are undertaken, we are having a control over it. Cost control is exercised through setting standards of targets and comparing actual performance there with a view to identify deviations from standard norms and taking corrective actions in order to ensure that future performance conforms to standard norms. So this is what? Cost control. Cost control is nothing. I am exercising through setting standards of targets and comparing actual performance. I am exercising, what I'm doing is I am setting standards that beyond 1 lakh I don't want to spend, and I'm exercising and targets, I'm exercising standards, I'm setting standards, and I'm comparing my actual, okay, I'm comparing my actual cost with the standard cost. Say actual cost is 1 lakh 20 and standard is 1 lakh, not allowed. 1 lakh, 1 lakh 20, not allowed. I have crossed my standard. There's no cost control. Okay, so cost control is exercised through setting standards of targets and comparing actual performance therewith with a view to identify deviations from standard norms and taking corrective actions in order to ensure that future performance conforms to standard norms. In other words, it is scientific management technique to contain the cost of doing business. Cost control is considered with the ways and means of keeping the cost at lower level without affecting efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, so cost control is nothing but setting up of standards, identifying the deviations between standards and actuals, and taking corrective actions to uh, meet the gap between standards and actuals. So this was related to cost control. 2 to 3 points you can prepare from cost control. Then we have planning, communication, motivation, appraisal, and reporting. What is planning? First step in cost control is to establish plans or targets. The plans or targets may be in the form of budgets, standards, estimates, and even past actuals may be expressed in physical as well as monetary terms. These plans or targets serve as yardstick by which the planned objective can be assessed. So we need to plan. I'll set target as 1 lakh. Why 1 lakh? Why not 2 lakh? Why not 1 lakh 50? Why not 90,000? I need to establish a control by setting a target. I need to plan my target. The planned target may be in the form of budgets, maybe in the form of standards, maybe in the form of estimates, and even past actuals. It can be anything. Out of my past experience, it was like my expenses were around 85 to 90,000. So I'm keeping 10, 15,000 extra. Communication. The plan and the policy laid down by the management are made known to all those responsible for carrying them out. So we have communication. So what is communication? Communication is nothing but we have plan and policy. And plan and policy laid down by the management are made known to all those responsible. We have plan and policy, and this plan and policy are laid down by the management, and they are made known to all those responsible for carrying them out. Communication is established in two directions. Communication is established in two directions. Directives are issued by higher level of management and lower level. So plans are set, plans are done by uh, higher level management. So what they need to do is, suppose manager has planned that 1 lakh rupees should be the target cost. So that needs to be communicated to lower level management also. And suppose the expenses have crossed 1 lakh, say 1 lakh 10,000, that needs to be communicated from lower to higher level. So communication should be two-way, from upper to lower, lower to higher. Motivation. The plan is given effect to and the performance starts. The performance is evaluated, costs are ascertained, and information about results achieved are collected and reported. The fact that costs are being compiled for measuring performance acts as a motivating force and makes individuals endeavor to better their performances. Appraisal and reporting. The actual performance is compared with the predetermined plans and variances, that is, deviations from the plans are analyzed as to their causes. The variances are reported to the proper level of management. Then we have decision making. The variances are reviewed and decision taken. Corrective actions and remedial measures or revisions of target as required are taken. So we have decision making. Okay, then we have key points for exercising effective cost control. Quantity and price standards should be set to or be estimated for each physical unit. Factors influencing variances should not be ignored. To make the standard realistic, all concerned should be associated in determining standard cost. The data collected should be kept to a minimum, and proper collection and processing of cost control data are important. So we have quantity and pricing, key points for exercising effective cost control. What all are the key points? So quantity and pricing standards should be set to or be estimated for each physical units. Okay, quantity and pricing standards needs to be set for this much quantity, this much should be the pricing standard. Then factors influencing variances should be identified, and they should not be ignored. Need to work on that. To make the standard realistic, all concerned should be associated in determining standard cost. The data collected should be kept to a minimum, and proper collection and processing of cost control data are important. So all cost should be kept at minimum. Okay. The different variances, price, usage, mix and efficiency should be considered whether they are relating to material, labor or overheads. No amount of detailed analysis of cost of variances can undo what has already been done. However, control measures should ensure that such mistakes are not repeated. Essentials of effective cost control not only include realistic targets but also flexible attitudes regarding the standard set. So that they are key points for exercising effective cost control. A quick read, we'll take a pause and then we'll go for advantages of cost control. Advantages of cost control. Advantages of cost control are mainly as follows. Achieving expected return on capital employed by maximizing or optimizing profit. So I want to achieve my cost control. How can I achieve my cost control? Suppose I have requirement of 3 employees. What I'll do is I'll try to manage and keep only 2 employees. I'll try my best that I go for optimum utilization of these 2 employees, 2 resources. So achieving expected return on capital employed. I have a requirement of 1,50,000. I'll go for 1,20,000. I'll try to use it to the optimum level. Try to generate optimum profit. Increase productivity of available resources. Delivering the product, I'll try my best that those 2 employees work for complete hours. Okay, whatever are the assigned hours, they don't waste their time. Increasing productivity of available resources. Delivering the product or services to the customers at a reasonable price. Continued employment and job opportunity for the workers, economic use of limited resources of production, increased credit worthiness, prosperity and economic stability of the industry. Okay, so advantages of cost control. Then we have cost reduction. Cost reduction is defined as a real and permanent reduction in the unit cost of goods manufactured or services rendered without impairing their suitability for the use intended. As will be seen from the definition, the reduction in cost should be real and permanent. So we have cost reduction. What is cost reduction? Cost reduction is already we are working at 10 rupees per unit. I need to bring it down to 9.5, 9.8, 9.7. Cost reduction is defined as real and permanent reduction in the unit cost of goods manufactured or services rendered without impairing their stability for use intended. As will be seen from the definition, the reduction in cost should be real and permanent. Reduction due to windfalls, fortuities, receipts, changes in government policies, like reduction in taxes or duties, or due to temporary measures taken for tiding over the financial difficulties, do not fall under the purview of cost reduction. At the same time, a programmer of cost reduction should in no way affect the quality of products, nor should it lower the standards of performance of business. So this is cost reduction. So what is cost reduction? Cost reduction is nothing but reduction in cost should be real and permanent. We need to work on a reduction in taxes, reduction in duties. We need to change government policies. uh, you know um, need to find out such type of things so that I can bring down my cost. My cost reduction should not hamper quality of my product. If 10, from 10 per unit to bringing it down to 9.8 or 9.7 is hampering my product, this thing, quality, then it is not allowed, not favorable. Profit is the result of two variable factors, namely sales and cost. The wider the gap between these two factors, the larger is the profit. Thus, profit can be maximized either by increasing sales or by reducing cost. In a competition, less market, or in case of monopoly product, it may perhaps be possible to increase price to earn more profits, and the need for reducing cost may not be felt. Such conditions cannot, however, exist paramount, and when competition comes into play, it may not be possible to increase the sales price without having an adverse effect on the sale volume, which in turn reduces profits. So, again, profit is a result of two factors. One is sales, increase cost, bring down your cost. Okay, so there are two important factors on which our profit is dependent, and they have tried to explain us both the factors. A quick read. I'll take a pause. A quick read, and we'll go for next. Broadly speaking, reduction in cost per unit of production may be affected in two ways, namely by reducing expenditure, the volume of output remaining constant, and by increasing productivity, that is, by increasing volume of output and level of expenditure remaining unchanged. So, by reducing expenditure, volume of output remaining constant, and by increasing productivity, that is, by increasing volume of output and level of expenditure remaining unchanged. So, these 2 points needs to be taken care of for cost reduction. Okay. These aspects of cost reduction are closely linked, and they act together, there may be reduction in expenditure. Suppose question comes for 2 marks, two ways by which we can reduce down cost per unit. So that way you can get a question. Now we have 5 steps for reducing cost. A research study by PwC puts forward the following 5 steps for strategic cost reduction to ensure that the business can sustain competitive relevance and maximize its potential. Start with strategy. Plan out everything. Without planning, you cannot work. Have a clear view of cost reduction strategy and ensure it is consistently understood across the organization. Align cost to strategy. Look across the whole organization and differentiate the strategically critical good cost from the non-essential bad cost. Aim high, set directions and show leadership. Create a culture of cost optimization. So this is important. 5 steps to strategic cost reduction. Easy, they are easy. Then we'll go for next, tools and techniques. There are several tools and techniques that are adopted in achieving cost reduction. Some of them are very, very important. Vital means important. Value analysis, business process re-engineering. Value analysis is nothing but we analyze which activity will add value to my product, to my service. Business process re-engineering, I'll rechange, I'll whatever was the process, whatever was the strategy, I changed it, I started changing it. Simplification and standardization, benchmarking, financial restructuring, work study, job evaluation, quality control, inventory control, credit control, all these points are necessary. Cost reduction practices, cost reduction efforts shall be continuous and uh, incessant, furnished here under a few such practices as case studies. So they have given us case studies, cost reduction case studies, important, easy. So 3 case studies, 4 case studies are given, and then we have case studies for learning as well, and difference between cost control and cost reduction. So objective, containing the cost in accordance with the preset targets, exploring ways and means of improving the targets. Approach, attaining lowest possible cost under the existing circumstances. Continuous process analysis, to find out new ways and means to achieve reduction in cost. Nature, preventive functions, corrective functions. Emphasis, the emphasis is on past, that is on predetermined standards. Emphasis is on the present and future, that is on feasible permanent reductions. Assumptions, assume the existence of certain standards or norms. Assume the existence of concealed potential savings in the standards or norms. Okay, so 4 to 5 answers. Write a short note on cost control, cost reduction. Instead of working here, you can study cost reduction, cost control difference, that you can convert it to answer. You have cost control steps, cost control, cost reduction steps, exercise, key points for exercising effective cost control. So three answers. I studied advantages, fourth, and a difference and steps. 6 answers you have in this chapter. 7. Tools and techniques. 7. Important chapter. Please do give a read. Very, very important. I hope you are comfortable with the lecture. Thank you.